Good evening. 23-year-old Roshane Barnett, the man accused of killing a woman and her 4 children at Cocoa Peace in Clarendon last month, has pleaded guilty to 5 counts of murder. He appeared in the Home Circuit Court earlier today. Barnett reportedly killed 31-year-old Kamisha Wright and her 4 children. Kimana Smith, a 15-year-old girl, Shamari Smith, a 10-year-old girl, Kafana Smith, a 5-year-old girl, and a 23-month-old baby boy, Kishon Henry. The Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has accepted the guilty plea, and Mello TV will bring you more on this story in subsequent newscasts. We go now to news from St. Catherine, where the decomposed bodies of 2 men were found this morning near the Spanish Town bypass. One of the men is believed to be a 32-year-old man from Fraser's Content in Spanish Town. Relatives at the scene say he was reported missing on Saturday. They say he was called from his house and has not been seen since. A relative disclosed that the man was recently released from prison. And in a Mello TV news update, another person has succumbed to injuries following Sunday's 2-bus collision on the Salem Main Road in St. Anne. The identity of the deceased has not been released. Chief Executive Officer of the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital, Dennis Morgan, said the victim, a 20-year-old female, passed away this morning. The deceased was among 6 critically injured persons admitted to the hospital. This is the 3rd victim to succumb to injuries sustained in the deadly accident. 38-year-old Kermit Grant of Abu Kir, Alexandria, and 56-year-old Elizabeth Palmer of Mount Pleasant succumbed to their injuries earlier. Now, according to reports, Grant, who was behind the wheel of a 15-seater highest minibus, collided head-on with a 30-seater coaster at approximately 8:30 a.m. on Sunday. Palmer was a passenger in Grant's vehicle. Continuing with the news tonight, the St. Andrew South Police have listed 2 men as persons of interest in relation to the recent flare-up of violence in sections of the police division. The men have been identified as Theophilus Edwards, otherwise called Shane E., an entertainer, dancehall artist, and Stephen Sterling, otherwise called Tractor, both of Waterhouse addresses in St. Andrew. Edwards is also known to frequent Rose Heights in St. James. Both men are being asked to report to the Hunts Bay CIB by midday tomorrow, Friday, July 29. Additionally, anyone with information about the whereabouts of these men is being asked to call the Hunts Bay Police Station at 876-923-7112 or Crime Stop at 311. Still making Mello TV news, Sophia Lugg, the mother of missing social media personality Donnelly Donaldson, has been hospitalized. It has been reported that Miss Lugg was taken to the University Hospital of the West Indies last night in relation to previous respiratory issues which needed to be addressed but were put off due to Donaldson's disappearance. Miss Lugg's brother, Neil Lugg, said that subsequent testing had revealed that her condition worsened. Her illness, however, is not life-threatening, he noted. Neil, who is Donaldson's uncle, underscored that her disappearance has deeply affected the family, which he said has impacted his sister's health. Sophia Lugg, who had reported her daughter missing on July 13, alleged that her boyfriend, Constable Noel Maitland, had picked up Donaldson on the evening of July 11 and that she has not been seen since. Maitland was yesterday arrested by detectives from the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Investigation Division. Continuing with the news tonight, firefighters battled another blaze at Premier Plaza in Halfway Tree, St. Andrew early this morning. The fire started sometime after midnight on the same building where a fire broke out last Thursday. However, this time the fire was on the ground floor. It is understood that the fire was contained to one shop and one unit from the Halfway Tree fire station responded to the blaze. Public Relations Officer at the Jamaica Fire Brigade, Emilio Ebanks, informed that there was an estimated $200 million loss as a result of the incident.
At 12:50 a.m. this morning, we received a call at the Halfway Tree station that there was a fire at 12 Premier Plaza, that's on Constant Spring Road. Persons who know the area know that this is a commercial building. On arrival, we saw the section of the plaza, ground floor section that housed Premier Optical on fire. We had 3 units on location and the 3 units extinguished the blaze. The loss is estimated at $200 million, but the risk is $500 million. We presently have investigators on scene trying to ascertain the cause of the fire, and I want to quickly point out that there was no reports of injuries nor deaths.
The 15th population, take 2. The 15th population and housing census is scheduled to begin on September 12 this year. The revelation was made by Minister of Finance and the Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, in the House of Representatives recently. Here is Truston Grizzle with the details.
Dr. Nigel Clark noted that the 15th population and housing census to be conducted this year is vital for decision-making at the policy level of government as well as for businesses. Addressing the House of Representatives this week, Dr. Clark pointed out that the census information is more than a tool for policymakers in government. It is a critical source of information for businesses and the people of Jamaica.
Madam Speaker and honourable members of the House, my fellow Jamaicans, this year is a very special year for us as we celebrate 60 years of independence. It's also a special year because as a nation, we will be conducting Jamaica's 15th population housing census starting in September. This is a very important national exercise and is being led by the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, which is our national statistical office. Madam Speaker, the census is one of the most important tasks that we will be undertaking in this our Jubilee year. The results will help us to assess our progress as a nation and guide us in setting our priorities and direction for the next 60 years and beyond. In this House, we know the value of data, and our best decisions have been informed and guided by the information provided by the census over the years. But the census information, even though it's a very important tool for policymakers in helping to formulate our policies, it's more than that. It's also a critical source of information for businesses and the people of Jamaica. Critical decisions are informed by the data coming out of the census. Members of this Honourable House, the census is a big deal. Madam Speaker, the census is more than just a count of the population. It also captures information on the housing stock in the country, on key social and demographic information that informs policy. It helps us to determine where to put our schools, where to put our clinics, and where to locate other government services.
The minister explained that the 2022 census is important for all Jamaicans and will capitalize on new technology to improve the efficiency and safety in data collection and processing.
The census is important for all of us as Jamaicans, and we've been conducting a census in Jamaica since 1844. In keeping with international standards and best practices, censuses are conducted every 10 years. The last census was done in 2011. But given the COVID pandemic, the preparatory work that would have been required in 2020 for a 2021 census was not possible because we are all restrained from freely associating. And so the preparation took place in 2021 for the census to take place in this year, 2022. The 2022 census will capitalize on new technology. Census takers will all be equipped with tablets. And the new technology will improve efficiency and the safety of data in collection and processing. And as I mentioned, this will be the first time that the data will be collected using tablet computers. Madam Speaker, you will be pleased to know that at the end of the census, the tablets will be transferred to the Tablets in Schools program, which is another example of government agencies working together. And it's a lot of tablets for the census. There are thousands and thousands of them.
The finance minister added that he, alongside the prime minister and leader of the opposition, will be involved in sensitization activities surrounding Census 2022.
Members of this Honourable House should be aware that in a few weeks I intend to sign into law the 2022 Census Regulation and Order, codifying into law the conduct of the census by statute. I'm also pleased to remind this House that the census day will be on September 12, 2022. That's the day of record for the census this year. And the data collection exercise will start thereafter and conclude on the 31st of December 2022. This national exercise must be supported by all, as each and every person living in Jamaica, who is normally resident in Jamaica, must be counted. Madam Speaker, and people of Jamaica, the census is not a political activity. It is a national activity, and it's a key piece in the puzzle of reigniting our nation for greatness. The census is for all of Jamaica. I'm looking forward to being counted in the census, Madam Speaker, and I know you are too. And indeed, all members of this House are looking forward to be counted in the census, along with your family members who are resident in Jamaica. We will be having, Madam Speaker, a launch for this year's census just after the holidays, and it will feature the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition, myself, in generating even more awareness for the activities that will start beginning on the 12th of September of 2022.
The minister told the House that 7,525 Jamaicans have been recruited as census takers after testing and screening. Reporting for Mello TV, I'm Truston Grizzle.
Thank you, Truston, for that report. And we turn our attention now to tonight's COVID-19 update, where according to the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica yesterday recorded 131 new cases of COVID-19, increasing the total of confirmed cases to 145,983. The death toll remains at 3,187, as no new deaths were reported. Now, of the newly reported cases, there were 81 females and 50 males, ranging in age from 4 months to 90 years. According to the latest statistics from the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the country also recorded 93 recoveries for a total of 93,544. And those are the stories making news. I am Shelley Hill. Stay safe, pleasant viewing, and thanks for watching.